weird. I'm like, it's the process. Action! Welcome back to Coming This Summer. I think
I wasn't done with my opening bit.
J.B. Martin, Ryan, Superbad Sharp. So we touched on this slightly last week in like one of our passing videos. We had like cram it at the end.
Yeah. We are honorable mentions.
Or earlier in the week, I should say.
That this one should have actually made it to its own
Probably
video.
its own thing. So
But we
Warner
didn't have
Brothers
time,
got the rights back to the Lord of the Rings.
Okay, so
They've
is that
acquired them all.
Let's start with that. So
Let's
is
do
that
that.
what happened? Did they just get the rights back? Did
Because I
Amazon
think
own the rights?
No. The family still, I believe. And
Amazon was just licensed to make this Amazon Lord of the Rings show.
I'm pretty sure a lot of it has to do with being in the public domain as well.
Okay.
But I know the family controls a lot of that.
The estate.
But I think
the Tolkien estate.
it sounds like, Warner Brothers has it all now, from what it sounds like.
Okay.
But I don't...
They just... it's literally so it's like it's still... The Rings of Power Amazon is still a
I don't think it's
going
to
to
go anywhere.
Technically.
Now it will be. Just
do you think it'll switch on to HBO
no,
Max?
See,
no.
I think whatever... There's probably...
Do you think they'll still keep the budget of that show?
Oh, yeah.
Really?
So what I think's going to happen, because isn't Jeff Bezos like a huge Lord of the Rings fan, allegedly? And that's really the reason why the show exists.
That makes
sense. Which is fine. When billionaires do stupid shit like that, I'm all on board for
I watched
that.
An episode and a half of that show.
See, I've been...
And it was airing literally at the same time as House of the Dragon.
Which was just...
So I had like... I didn't want like too fantasy fills.
Well, I remember because at the beginning you were
I'm
pretty
good.
sure House of the Dragon was going to be shit, so you were pretty much hedging your bets.
On
and
Lord-
then slowly but surely you're like, oh
House of
shit.
the Dragon's really fucking good, and Lord of the Rings is taking
Way too
300
long
years real
to-
time to like fill in this 300-year storyline.
See-
it's like, no, you guys can speed it up a little bit.
I think what you're going to see, though, is some kind of Sony-esque licensing is probably as long as they keep the show going. There's some kind of contractual thing that Warner Brothers
because they
can't just
have
come in and
multiple
cancel it.
seasons planned
Right, like
for
5,
the Rings
I
of
think.
Power. Yeah,
Right.
It's
So why would you
it's
cancel
a
that?
lot. Yeah,
And that's going back to what I was saying. Like, why can't billionaires just have like a favorite show instead of fucking with everything else? Like, imagine if like Bill Gates was a huge Arrested Development fan, and
he
he's
came
like,
back.
"We're gonna spend $200 million on another season of Arrested Development." You'd be like,
Cool.
That Bill Gates is all right.
He's pretty rad. Yeah,
You know,
like Elon.
Yeah,
or
same kind of
something.
thing, like-
yeah.
People clowned on Bezos, and rightfully so, for the look at my dick rocket, I need to go into space. But if he took the dick rocket money, and it would be better if he gave it to poor people or homeless people or hungry people. But like not even that, if he's just like funds television shows that people want, I think you get a lot less hate.
I think that'll happen for like shows that have been on forever but are still not off, like a Simpsons or something. Some billionaire will come out and be like, no, it'll keep going.
Yeah.
Or
Disney already did that.
Right.
That's now that poor cow.
Right.
If we made The Simpsons into a cow, it would be like this poor old decrepit thing where the udders are all swollen and it's still like a machine just...
the Barnyard movies where there's like the dog with like the old like cane or whatever.
Barnyard.
Yeah. You
Didn't
like
think
that?
you had a Barnyard reference.
I had that queued up for almost a year of CTS. I've been waiting
By the
to
way,
get a
our year
Barnyard.
celebration coming up.
Yeah, you like that?
Which I think we'll do our CTSEs. That should be our big celebration.
Hey,
We got
nice.
Got the Oscars coming up.
That's ours. That's our March 9th is our anniversary.
So
So
throw that in there. We'll start talking about it in every
CTSEs
video.
Is March 9th.
So-
Perfect. Nice. Fuck yeah.
So back to the Warner Brothers thing.
Yeah.
I think Warner Brothers doesn't have a lot right now, like you mentioned.
This is what I want to talk about.
They
So,
have
Warner
DC,
Brothers-
which is their own in-house studio
They
now.
made DC
But
its
I mean,
own studio like Marvel.
As far
Yeah.
as franchisees
Right.
go, they have DC, Harry Potter. I was waiting for you to help me.
No, I wanted that. That's because it's literally, unfortunately, it is DC, Harry Potter, Lord of the Rings,
And now Lord of the Rings for sure.
and now Lord of the Rings for sure,
Like,
which
it's
it
locked
kind
back
of
in.
was.
It was, but now it's like
honestly,
locked in.
I know we shit on Warner Brothers a lot, but I can't think of another property that they own now that also like Legendary has bounced and their monster universe.
they're over at
they don't
Sony.
fucking have that anymore.
Right.
So it's like they don't even own Godzilla or like King Kong movies or anything or that.
Yeah, I think
universe.
once the
So
universe is done, they're gone. Like
they're
this
gone.
is the thing that's keeping.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So-
for another couple movies. Legendary,
So
but-
and they already blew their load on the Harry Potter reboot. By doing
the prequel series.
the prequel series.
But now
what
we're
should
gonna
have
do a
happened,
reboot.
What should have happened was they do Fantastic Beasts, and if that does good, let's make more Harry Potter movies. But don't do 2 and 3 of Fantastic Beasts because number 1, Fantastic Beasts 1.
No, I think honestly, I think the plan was they did the Harry Potter movies, and then they're like, we got to do something else, and they figured out Fantastic Beasts. They thought that was going to be strong enough to carry it for until the kids were old enough in real life to do the stage play one, the Cursed Child.
Cursed Child.
They'd adapt that into some movie instead of a play, and now we've closed off the entire thing. But then everything spiraled out of control. JK went insane. Fantastic Beasts had the Johnny Depp and all that stuff, and everything went crazy.
And now Hogwarts Legacy is out, and they're talking about adapting some of that, or at least
into like a prequel series of movies.
Timeline,
which I'm fine with.
Which is fine, But back to Lord of the Rings, you can't do Harry Potter right now because you just did and you failed. So it's
so
like we got to put a pin in that. We got to let them go for like a couple years because there's no way they're doing Fantastic Beasts 4.
The only other way that you see a Harry Potter thing, and I think they should go HBO Max, and they should do a show, and then they cast the kids at 11 years old, and the kids grow with the show, and they
just
do
go
7 seasons.
a show like per house or whatever.
Well, I would say you could do the Harry Potter story over 8 years in real life. With kids, like they did, but like do it from a TV, and then you could actually do the books. Not like we got to cram 5 chapters into.
Just adapt those again. There's nothing wrong with that.
There's nothing wrong with that.
No, they've done it forever. But
I think you're right.
Make it animated.
They need to take a breath with that because of the J.K. Rowling stuff, which leads us back to Lord of the Rings.
Which is why I think they're trying to pump the Lord of the Rings thing, because they go, what other properties do we have now that we just gave DC to James Gunn, basically?
True.
Harry Potter sucks right now, so put a pin in that. Let's spin the wheel that has 3 options on it, and it lands on Lord of the Rings. You know what I mean?
Okay.
But the problem is,
what are they going to do with Lord of the Rings?
But when they thought of that, they're like, well, Amazon's already got that show going on. So
and that's a prequel show, right?
Yeah, it's before Lord of the Rings. It's
but
like,
after The Hobbit? Or during The Hobbit?
I fucking honestly
I'm asking.
Idea. I have absolutely
because
no idea.
You also have the in-canon games, Shadow of Mordor and Shadow of War, which are pretty much better than anything minus the 3 movies. Seriously, from a narrative standpoint and everything. You get to follow this.
The original.
This human that dies but gets saved by the soul of an elf who is basically what's his name?
No, I haven't played the second one, but the first game is
amazing.
Is fucking insane.
And that's a Warner Brothers interactive.
I know.
It's like an Assassin's Creed game.
Warner Brothers used to be pretty top, pretty
Seems
peak,
like it.
Peak film, but now they don't have anything. And now you made DC its own studio, which is like,
that's cool.
Fuck yes for DC, you know what I mean? But it's not really.
Where do you go with the Lord of the Rings stuff? Do you if
Disney was like, oh, we got Marvel and Star Wars, but we're not going to do Disney or Pixar movies anymore. So it's like, well, you're not Disney anymore then.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Well, right. Like, they'll still have their other normal movies.
They'll still have their normal movies. Yeah.
I just don't know how much is to mine from Lord of the Rings.
John Wick's Warner Brothers, right? I think, or is that like a Regency or some like
smaller, bigger, owned by I can't remember now.
I thought it was Warner Brothers for some reason.
Spacing.
Maybe not. Maybe I'm thinking of Constantine.
One of our sponsors, Crushwell, for the spacing.
For the space. Nice.
I just don't know where you go with Lord of the Rings and how much there's left to mine there. And if you're going to do like a future trilogy.
They're doing like Star Wars-itis, where it's like you can't do too much without killing the mystery of the whole world.
Right.
You know what I mean?
But that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Lord of the Rings is an enclosed ecosystem.
Right.
So the only thing they can do, in my opinion, is do something new, and that's going to piss off everyone.
But it doesn't really work, because literally at the end of Lord of the Rings, all the elves fuck off to like
but so I'm saying you can do whatever years in the future and visit all that, but my point is you're just going to divide the community if you do that.
Yeah, you're going to be like, well,
so that takes
sucks.
you back to we got to do something that's already in the world, and we currently have a video game that takes place before a show that takes place before the movies. So you have from The Hobbit to the movies, it's already covered.
Yeah, we're good.
So what are you...
Yeah. So I think Rings of Power is definitely before.
Well, that's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
And the game is around the same time, too, because it's before the movies, because they get the ring.
I think the game is just after Rings of Power, because Rings of Power is like, we need to make these rings.
Right, okay.
You know what I mean?
But that's what I'm saying.
And
so you have...
Celebrimbor is fucking in Rings of Power. Yeah, dude.
I did not know that.
He's in
okay.
the first episode.
Okay.
They show him. Yeah.
That's cool though.
Fucking right. And he looks like he does in the fucking game, but just like alive. And I'm like, fuck yeah, dude, Lord of the Rings.
There's a lot a lot that's already there that's really good, and I don't know how much more you can I would take a third game before I would take a movie series.
I'm pretty sure we would see I don't know if because Celebrimbor is dead in the game, right?
Yeah, he's Italian.
And he was Italian. We might get Talion in the Rings of Power show.
I could deal with that.
You know
but isn't Talion?
You know what I'm saying?
Talion's like I think you're right. I think it's right before Lord of the Rings, because it's right before everything starts getting out of control and they're trying to stop that last push before things are gone.
Things are
so this
totally
is probably
fucked.
it's probably like 100 years after Rings of Power.
Right, because in the game, Mordor isn't really like full on volcano.
And it's
Mordor
already been
yet.
been a good X number of years because you're finding the ruins of the.
And Sauron still has his like henchmen almost. You know that you have to
like
deal
the
with.
Witch King. And all that.
Yeah. Oh,
no, there's a lot. That's what I'm saying. Like, I know we sound like nerds.
The Nazgul. Yeah.
The Palantir.
You fucking. Like unsubscribe.
These guys are nerds. What happened?
Yeah.
No, I mean we like everything, but I'm just saying, like, I'm excited that
I'm a closet Lord of the Rings fan.
I just don't know what you can do besides something new, and that just splits the community.
No, and that's the Rings of Power show, and it's like no, but they're doing that already. So
but they're still doing it in the world that's already.
No, but that works is what I'm saying. So like,
yeah. So what else can you do?
What is HBO Max gonna do?
And I don't want to say this, but remake the movies, and that's gonna piss off again a shit ton of people because they're not that old. They're still they holds up with so much practical effects and the CGI on that Return of the King.
You can't
that
go
it's still
after
good
Lord
movie.
of the Rings.
That's what I'm trying to say.
I don't think there's anything written after Lord of the Rings.
No, you have to make a whole new stuff, which is why I think the reason they got more stuff from the estate is because they are going to move past, and that's going to be check notes Game of Thrones season
because there's the
8.
Silmarillion, which is like the whole like the
universe,
Necronomicon of the fucking
Yeah, they might
world.
be able to find some.
But I don't know if there's like linear plot in
No.
the Silmarillion. I don't know if it goes. Lord of the Rings is established like this is pretty much the end. Like we won Gondor. They have the rightful king. The elves are gone to their rightful place, and
everybody's happy.
Bilbo and Frodo are going, and Gandalf's going too. And this is fucking it. Yeah, this is it. We're done.
The only thing you could do is try to do it from the perspective of the bad guys trying to get things back together to make a. Because you can't do that. You couldn't do it from the good guys, and because it'd be the same thing again. So you'd have to do it from like someone else finds the ring and Sauron. You know what I mean? That'd be about.
But then you're right back to where you started.
Right back, just from a different perspective.
It's fucking Force Awakens.
Yeah.
At that point, that's why you don't go past. You should have learned this from Star Wars to. Do not do new trilogy.
No.
Fill in your blanks.
Or if you're gonna do it, you do it like the Mandalorian, and it's
That's what I
slow.
mean.
You pick one area and you just focus on a small little sliver.
Yeah, it takes place during Lord of the Rings from a different character's perspective.
That's about all you
can
do.
Yeah.
We'll wrap this nerdgasm up.
Yeah.
Call this the nerdgasm.
Would you like a Sauron spinoff? Let us know in the comments, because I fucking wouldn't. You know.
If you guys, and if you're huge
I would take an adaptation of the Shadow of War.
You get to like
and
fight.
Shadow of Mordor.
You get to fight him, and like he comes in on a dragon.
I would take,
since
HBO is all about adapting fucking games right now, and Last of Us is such a huge hit.
Oh, Shadow of War and Shadow of Mordor as a show would be amazing.
I would take Shadow of Mordor as a game.
It'd be great. And you know who I'd cast as Talion? Pedro Pascal. I figured you'd like that.
I was gonna say who's Aragorn. What's his name?
Viggo Mortensen.
Viggo Mortensen. You just make him Talion.
He looks exactly like Talion.
You just make him Talion again.
Bro, you're not even getting first right refusal. We took it back.
Oh my god. So they're not even in control of what the fucking episodes even are?
Right.
Oh my god.
So that's what I'm saying. We got a problem. We're either gonna.
That's because Paramount can literally force those episodes to lead into the fucking specials. That's bullshit.
That's really
that's
bullshit.
fucking horseshit.
So that's why